Shout out to the Railroad Nation and the Railroad Dude. I am Professor Dahoodpostman. You know, we got a very special guest in the house today. What's going on, my man?
Man, what's up, homie?
Man, can you hear me okay? Is the voice
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, I can hear you
Okay,
perfect.
good enough, man. Good to have you on, man. It's been a long time coming. I appreciate it, man. And shout out to everybody in the chat room that's joining us right now for this powerful brother. I mean, he brings so much to the table. Very dynamic, great speaker, very intelligent. He has a game intellect that supersedes most. Let me put it that way. Your storytelling ability is so phenomenal. I just had to come and give you a flowers, bro. And I just want to welcome you to the little post, man. You know the vibe. Shout out, salute to you. So let's get to it, man. You grew up in your what was known as the five trade sections, correct?
Excuse me, say it again.
So I was wondering, where did you actually grow up at? What was your upbringing?
Oh, homie, you right there on 51st and Avalon. I was born and raised on the east side. Grew up on 51st and Avalon.
Okay, good enough. Let me do something just right quick, because I don't want. Do you hear an echo? Okay, good, cool. Okay, as long as I don't get no echo, we good. We good. You grew up right on the east side, so would that be considered the bottoms, the low bottom? Because I know they should call it low bottoms, the bottoms, and then the middle bottoms. I think I was saying all that.
See, okay, well, really, everybody like to consider anything on that east side, on the back end of Slauson, the bottoms or the low bottoms. But really, the low bottoms is like on the other side of Central, back down in the 20s and 30s and 40s. That's the low bottoms. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like in the 50s, on my side of Central, like on Avalon and, Central Avalon, stuff like that, it's just considered the bottoms.
Okay. So growing up, when you was growing up, what was the very thing that stuck in your mind or that piqued your curiosity that made you want to gravitate and move towards the Avalon section?
I mean, growing up right there, that's right there in the middle of Avalon hood. So when I was a little bitty kid, when I was a little bitty kid, the businessmen's was still kind of strong,
Yeah.
So like I say, I'm 58 years old, so I was born in '64. So coming up, you seen the businessman running around, older dudes. Then boom, when the cripping and all that came about, boom, that whole area was always just Avalon right there. So quite naturally, coming up, the older homies from the A, you can't help but follow suit, but come from the A,
Yeah, I remember Doc Rob and Lee Dog and let's see, was Evil 8-8 or Padre?
You got an Evil from 5 Trey and 8-8.
Okay. And then I remember Van Duke was 11-16, right?
Yeah. Them the homies.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. I just wanted to, acknowledge them. And, Lee Dog is my boy, man. That's my guy right there.
The big Lee Dog or little Lee Dog?
The dark skinned tall Lee Dog.
That could be either one of them. You probably talk about big Lee Dog, man. He doing good. He downtown handling business.
Okay, great. Yeah, because that would be around in my age group anyway, big Lee Dog.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. This is one question I want to ask you because there's been so much going on on the internet scene with all these cats. I mean, as to the rappers, in regards to the rappers and how they move and how they travel. So, I'm just asking you this question, personal question to you, that when somebody from your section, well, you live in the state of Alabama, right?
Right.
Okay, when somebody say, hey, Cartoon, listen, man, I'm about to go hit the city, man. I'm about to go hit LA, man. Do you at that time like, wait a minute, man, let me tell you a couple of days, you know what I mean, so you'll be okay. Does that ever come into play in the conversation?
I ain't never since I've been out here, I never really had nobody that, was just gonna up and like tell me, hey Tune, man, we finna go to LA. If they were, 9 times out of 10, it was somebody that I was fooling with, and I say, "Well, look, homie, I'm finna go back to the land. You want to go back with me?" They be like, "I want to go. I want to go." I'm like, "Well, come on, I'll take you with me." But as far as them going solo,
Okay.
I ain't really too much ran into that. But now, if they were going solo, I would hit them to the skip. I would let them know, okay, look, it depends on what set they claiming, because they got Crips and Bloods out here real tough too. I'd give them the blueprints on where to go, where not to go.
Right. And rightfully so, because a lot of guys don't know, man. This LA stuff is different, man. It just do. And I was listening to the guy, I think his name is Rich Uncle Quan, and he was saying something in regards to that. And I thought it was, I will let you, that you can react to the video if you like. Let me play something right quick for you. And then you can say whether it's true or was he on the spot or was he off.
First time I ever went to LA, I went out there to shoot the party video.
Right.
They knew what time I landed. They knew what hotel I was at before I landed. Listen, bro, the first time I go out there, so flying with TIG, Fly was like, man, we gotta go pull up on Big U. So we're going to Crenshaw High School, but he got the football kids out there. So my mind fucked up. This is my first time going out there. He was like, yeah, man, we knew what time you landed. I was like, oh yeah, this shit different. He was like, yeah, you over there, you in a hotel room, Then what you call to get your bag, ain't your driver? I was like, oh yeah, this shit different. So at the same time, I say that to say, that checking in should be real. I ain't paid no money. All he wanted me to do was just take pictures with the kids, the football kids, and it be little shit like that. Like niggas be thinking check-in, oh, you got to pay. They just want you to show the community like you're still able to be reached. You know what I'm saying? So after that, I went out there that time, I ain't never had no problems from that first time. First time I ever went to LA, I went out there to shoot.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought, yeah. Go ahead, speak it.
All right, Rich homie, Quan homie. See now, it can happen like that. But now, for them to have that type of information, that came from whoever he was dealing with ahead of time. He let them know too much about what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Because if you coming into LA, see, I did a video about this checking in thing. You know what I'm saying? I got my own personal opinions on this check-in thing. Now, if you dealing with certain people, and before you even get on the plane, your itinerary is gonna be spoken about. You letting them know, okay, I'll be here on this day, that day. That's easy to check up on. You could keep tabs on a person like that. But for a situation like people that's just coming into LA, if don't nobody know you coming, homie, there's nobody down at LAX sitting there waiting with a cell phone to see who gets off the plane, who look like they doing something. No, people know about you because you've been and ran your mouth too much. You've been and put your business out there. Yeah. But if you just come, anybody can just fly into LA. If you coming in there to handle your business, keep a low profile, stop running your mouth, and you can handle your business. Now, true enough, if you're going in the wrong areas, eventually you probably get spotted if you got on all the things that you can have on that's going to make somebody key in on you. But if you low key, you ain't got all that flashy stuff on, you come in, you handle your business, and you go, it's not going to be no problem. But now what I speak on a lot is, now say like, if you one of these cats, if you famous, you an athlete, a movie star, a rapper, and you claiming one of the gangs in LA. Now, when you come to LA, of course, now, you can call it checking in or what you want to call it. But if you claiming a gang in LA, homie, and you coming from a whole nother state, it's just respect to come pay your respects to the hood and to the land and the sand which you claiming. You feel what I'm saying? Come rub, and the dudes want to rub elbows with you. They want to see you. Half of them, true enough, hope you can put them on, hope you can help them in their career, and hope you can do something for them. But yeah, go on over there and, click, clack, and do what you're going to do with them. But LA is so large, man, look, it's too easy to come in, stay under the radar, go do what you're going to do, and get on.
There it is there, man. I appreciate that answer, too. That was a great assessment on it. And I also want to back up a little bit. And if you can, who were the most impactful, in your words, in your opinion, the most impactful Padres? And
you speaking on
And let me put a little context with it. When I say impactful, in regards to leadership, in regards to hand God and in the hands, and also in regards to not being a deceptive individual that truly genuine love for the individuals that's around. And he inspired them versus made them, feel bad about what they do.
Okay. I mean, it's a lot of people I can name, but it's a generational thing. I'm trying to see if you speaking on like from my generation, the generation under me, my older homies. Cause see, I'm from what you call the third generation. The first generations were Avalons, strictly Avalons. Wasn't no numbers or nothing on them. You know what I'm saying? Before it was a 4-tray Avalon, before it was a 5-tray Avalon, we was just strictly just Avalon Crips from Santa Barbara, which what they call that King Boulevard now. I still call it Santa Barbara, but from Santa Barbara all the way to Slauson, that was just Avalon Crip territory. Then the street numbers came about, the 4 trays, boom. Then the 5 trays, boom. So now, those were the first generation Avalons. The second generation Avalons from my set were the ones who came about with the 5-tray Avalons. Then I came in right behind them, third generation. But I'm gonna speak from my generation.
Okay.
Of course, I'm gonna add me to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna add. You say the top 5. I'm gonna say, man, me, my homeboy Bull Capone, my homeboy Tiki, me, Bull Capone, Tiki, the homie Big Nose. Oh shoot, man, there's so many I could pick from, man. Me, Tiki, Bull Capone, Big Nose. Influential. Let me see another one that's up there like that. Let's say I'm gonna say for the money aspect, my homeboy Jimbo. You know what I'm saying? Every set got a money homie, and that was our money homie.
Does Crazy Ray fit into that equation? Crazy Ray and
of course. Oh my God, of course. Yes. That a lot of people don't know that was my dog, homie. That was my, me and Crazy Ray, we was joined at the hip. It wasn't no, in the set, homie, anybody, if you ask anybody that's from our age group, man, what's up with Cartoon and Crazy Ray? Our names were synonymous with each other. You know what I'm saying? You didn't hear Crazy Ray without hearing Cartoon. You didn't hear Cartoon without hearing Crazy Ray. And we was on some smash type get out. You know what I'm saying? Our own homies used to be a little scared of us. They didn't want, they didn't want nothing to do because we was on some, we was on some strictly gang stuff from the time we woke up to the time we went to sleep. We was on the bull, we was on it. And if you wasn't on it, ain't no need to be around us because we probably gonna end up beating you up and telling you get on away from around us.
So y'all was like the bully. There was the cat named the bully in Cobb.
Well, you know what? I can't show up. No, you know what? I can never say on the bully tip. It was just strictly about a bit.
No, that was just his name. That was just his name. But he was really, you know what I mean? Like he was just over the top on it. Let me put it that way.
Let's say he was about his business.
Yes.
Cause see, that's what we was about. We was the type we pull up in the set, and if it's 7, 8 homies standing around. The first thing would come out my mouth was like that. What's up, cuz? Who got a gun on them? And if didn't nobody have no gun on them, I'm taking off because I'm like, I tell them all the time, homie, y'all standing around here 7, 8 deep because we at war with several different hoods and ain't nobody got no gun. See, I lost a little homie like that too. Dudes come through bussing and the homie fell. Everybody scattered. It wasn't no return fire. So that gave them the nuts to stop the car, get out and finish the little homie off. But if it would have been just some type of return fire, the homie would probably be around today.
Everybody out there naked.
Right. So, we wasn't with that. Then we was the type, the little homies wasn't no hanging out in the hood and y'all wasn't gonna bump. I might be like, cuz, y'all get them up. For what, big homie? I want to see what y'all working with. And they got to get them up. It was an everyday thing like that.
So, I think to the south of you was Ross Snyder, and to the east of you was the Pueblos, but the Phi Village was maybe to the far right of you.
Well, we can say No, they were to the east of us.
Okay.
What separated us from the villains and the Pueblos was Central Avenue. On
Right.
one side of Central was the villains and the Pueblos, and on the other side of Central was the Five Trey Avalons. Because Five Trey Hood and Villain Hood are identical the same. The streets run the same. It's just they on one side of Central, we on the other side of Central. And you know, Ross Snyder Park is right over there, with them. But now at the time, a lot of people think that the villains had Ross Snyder Park, but no, Ross Snyder Park was in an area called Fodus or 40 Pyru Hood back in the day. A lot of people ain't never heard of them. They little small set, but that was like 40 Pyru Hood.
Okay. I ran into Fat Daddy from Villains, and he told me some stories about Baby Knock. I never met Baby Knock, but I hear so much about him. Were you aware who he was?
Hey, been knowing him since he about 5 years old, homie. Watch the little boy grow up, man. That was Crazy Ray's brother.
Is that right?
Yeah, that was Crazy Ray's brother. Crazy Ray had a big family, homie. They split down the middle. It was three or four of them from Villain, and it was like 4 or 5 of them from Avalon. They were split down the middle. And Baby Knot and Crazy Ray, man, they loved each other, man. They loved each other a whole lot. That's why, I knew Knot so long. But yeah, man, Knot come up through the ranks, man. He come up through that YA. He come up through that juvenile hall, that YA, then on in the prison, homie. And he was one of their main hitters. He was a heavy hitter.
Yeah, I hear a whole lot about him, man. A whole lot,
Yeah. He had put hands on quite a few of my homeboys. I hate to say it, but he had got a hold to a few of my homeboys.
I mean, if we keep it a buck, we keep it a band.
Yeah.
There's situations that take place on both sides, you know what I mean? Because
right.
What we have to understand, the gangbanging is not a lifestyle, it's a death style. So there's wheelchair confinement, there's confinement, cage confinement, and there's death. Those 3 components are definitely part of the circumference of that circle.
Right.
And you got to understand it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you a story about Baby Knot, because we was in Y together and we was in the pen together several times. And at this time, I was in Corcoran on B facility. And they had to unlock in that morning. So me and a couple of other homies, we sitting on the iron pile, we talking, and Baby Knotted came over there to me. Now they had let 2 dudes out of lockup that night and sent them to the block, 2 blood dudes. And should I say their name? I'm not gonna say their name. But okay. They was both from Compton. One was from Westside Pyru, and one was from Campanella Park. And they were UBNs. And at the time, Corcoran was a bloodline car as far as the Bloods go. Bloodlines had that. And Baby Knot was a bloodline. And so I'm sitting on the iron pile. I'm talking to some homies. I think I'm finna go work back in the laundry or do something. So Baby Knot come to me like, "Hey, Tune, check it out. What's up?" I say, "What's up, homie?" He say, "Listen, man, you and your people might want to move." I'm like, "What's up?" He say, "Man, we finna handle some business right here on the yard. We got some business we gotta handle. You know it's finna be shots fired." I'm like, "Bet, don't trip. We gone." So when he walked off, I tell my people, I'm like, "Cuz, come on, homie, let's move out the way, man. You know what I'm saying? Them fools, they finna pull a stunt." So boom, we get up against the wall over there by the canteen, and the 2 dudes that came from lockup that night, they got in. Now they were some soldiers too. They got in the middle of the field. They come out the block and they got in the middle of the field back to back, and they just standing there. So I'm looking, I'm like, "Oh shoot. So they standing there. So Baby Knot and like 3 more of his partners, they coming at him from different directions. So when they get up on him, the 2 Pyrus out of Compton, they come up with that heat. They both come up, bam, back to back. And Baby Knot and the other dudes, they just rushed them. It wasn't up but a knife fest, melee in the middle of the yard. Bang, bang, clink, 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 clink. And the police go to dump it. Boom, boom, get out. Boom, 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 boom. So they laid the yard down, laid them down. And I didn't see Baby Knot no more till years later. But yeah, that's a little story, man. He a real soldier, homie. He handled his business.
Yeah, I heard so much about him, man. I just had to bring it up, man. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I was talking to Fat Daddy from Villains, and of course I know quite a few over there. Rest in peace, B-Dog and Adam Man, and let's see, also and everybody, every time I hear that baby knock, man, I just, man, it's the story after story after story, man. He's like the guy over there, man. But I
Yeah,
also want to talk to you. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, I'm listening.
No, I was going to ask you about Sammy Green. Did you know Sammy Green?
Sammy Green?
Sammy Green used to have juicy burgers. That's like the hamburger stand that sits right there on 55th, and I think, was it Ascot or one of the streets over there?
That's right there on right. What's that? Hooper, either Ascot? Yeah, I'm hip. Yeah, the dude who had it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know, but that was a real big hangout for them cats. You know, back in the day.
Yeah,
to us,
that's
you
what
know,
I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, on my side of the fence, to us it was target practice. You know what I'm saying? But for them, it was a hangout spot.
Like shout out to Rennie Lowe. Rennie Lowe, man, she said, man, make sure you tell Cartoon I support him. I follow that. I said, I will do that.
Okay, yeah, I seen a homegirl a couple of times. I think she was in my I think she had messaged me a couple of times on my live. You know, I gave her a little shout out.
Right. Now she good people, man. She good people.
Right.
Shout out to the Bam. What's going on with you, Bam? I see you in there. In regards to the folk trades, and I don't want to get into no situation, but did that ever come together? Because I think that eventually it started off together, but somehow it got twisted. Is that correct?
That situation,
because
man.
You guys were all Avalon, is what I'm getting.
Right. And that whole situation got completely out of hand. Completely out of hand. You know, we lost a lot of good friends on both sides behind that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's a trip. You can get into it with. It's like getting into it with family, man. You know, you can fall out with a dude in the streets, and eventually, real fast, y'all make up and come back together. But when you ever notice, when you fall out with family, you fall out with your brother, your sister, your mom, your daddy, it seems like it's to the extreme, and you stay mad at each other forever. I don't know why it happens with family. And it was kind of like us with the folk trades, you know what I'm saying? Because we come up together. We was both Avalons, we both Eastsiders, we was both trades. We went to elementary school together. We went to junior high together. We went to high school together. Our mothers and fathers knew each other. Our sisters and brothers went with each other. We went with their homegirls. They went with ours. We was joined at the hip until the strife started. You know what I'm saying? And once it started, you know, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I remember from back in the days, I literally seen it growing, and I knew where it was going to end up at. And I was telling my homeboys way back in the day, I'm like, cuz, look here, homie, I'm telling y'all, it's done gone too far. Because at first it was like, you know, the little dudes, our little homies would fight they little homies would fight our little homies, and they would just get into it. But what had happened, we always been bigger than them. You know, as far as numbers go, we always had the number, because, you know, Fire Trey go from Vernon all the way to Slauson. That's like dang near 15 blocks. And the folk trades had from Vernon back, you know what I'm saying? But then, you know, a chunk of their turf got bit into when the 40 Avalons popped up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it kind of got condensed. You know, they've always been down there. You know, they old as dirt. So, you know, time went on. They went through some bad years. Their numbers was real low. Then when Burt Train got out and he started Third World, you know what I'm saying? When that dope come and that money come, that brings the membership, that brings the women, that brings the prestige, that brings everything. And their numbers start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So when their numbers got big enough, they had a lot of little young homies, and they had more than we had. So, you know, the youngsters got in their mind, well, you know, hey, we folk trades, we in the 40s. Why do them cats got 46, 47, 48, and 49? We need to have that. No, honey. No. Stay over that side of Vernon where you belong. Don't come over here with that mess. But they crossed over. And that's when the hostility started fighting. Them youngsters started fighting.
Definitely. Yeah, you can't just come take land in the streets. You know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you can't do that. And them youngsters start getting into it, and it got to the point to where we would go down to Gilbert Lindsay with a carload full of little youngsters and call ourselves just letting them fight and get it out the way. Or they would come to us with some little youngsters and let them fight and get it out the way. But that didn't solve nothing. It started escalating more and more and more till it got to the point to where you start seeing like 5-3 on the wall with the 5 crossed out, or 4-3 on the wall with the 4 crossed out. Now, when that started, we knew it was the point of no return. It was the point of no return, and eventually it kept going on until the first murder took place. And once the first murder took place, homie, it wasn't no looking back. It was on and cracking from back then till the very day me and you talking right now.
Oh wow! I guess sometimes things just because it's all energy and it's all looking. You gotta exercise it and use it in some type of way, and we just find those ways to use it. You know what I mean? I don't. It don't make it right, but that's just what it is. What year did you go to the pen?
Say it again.
What year did you go to the pen?
Did I go to prison?
Yes.
1987. 1986.
1986. What was that like? Being that now you don't have this, you have this reputation, or you have this way of carrying yourself on the streets. Now you got to make an adjustment because prison and streets is quite different. What was that like?
For me, man, I had done so much time in YA, and a lot of people don't understand when you in YA. Well, from my age group, a lot of people on the street don't understand. We couldn't, man. I mean, it might sound crazy, but it was what it was. We couldn't wait to go to YA. We see the homies get out of jail on swole with the long braids. They got the prestige. They done did their little YA time. We couldn't wait to go to YA. And it was sort of like that with the prison situation. So by the time I caught my case and I was on my way, I was like, man, I didn't care. But see, because what it was, instead of me going to prison, I could have went to I could have did what's that? A county lid where you do like 9 months. But now I made him, I said, no, I'm not doing no county lid. Send me to prison. I'm not staying in this county no longer. Send me to prison. So that's how I ended up going the first time. I went to San Quentin, but I went to an area called H Unit. It was like, it wasn't behind the wall. It was on the other side of the wall, like a little outside community. And I did 9 months there, got out, and then ended up coming right back. But as far as, I mean, like in the county jail, I was in the crib, in the crib module, you got so many homies in there that done came down from prison. Yeah, they schooling you, they giving you the whole game. So now, the worst, the most downest dudes in prison was the YA babies. Now you had some dudes who had never been to YA that was up in prison. They was tearing stuff up. But the homies that had did a lot of time in YA and ended up going to prison, oh man, we come up in there like I'm talking about on fire because we so wild. You had to calm us down. So now sit in the crib module. Okay, so sit in the crib module, you like a sponge. All the homies that's in there with a name that then came down from the pen or had been to the pen, every chance you get, you sliding up under them like, cuz, check this out, homie. Hey, what about this? What about that? And they giving you the game. And me, I'm the type, when you tell me something, if you a G homie or you another Crip that I really, really respect, I'm going to take it to heart and I'm going to put it in my whole, daily routine. So by the time I got there, man, I was ready. I was good to go. I was ready to start some mess, the whole hookup.
If there was one individual or a couple of individuals that had the most cleverest Crippin you ever seen, who would that be? And they could be from anywhere, I don't know, but there's somebody that you just thought the way they did it was just so clever because they was always on point. They was cool. They kept an economy going for the people around them. Does anybody stand out in your mind?
Let me see. From that aspect of like hustling behind the wall, or just a stomp down gangster, or just being charismatic, having a good flow.
All that. The whole package.
I would probably say my homeboy Lavelle. OG Lavelle from Raymond.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one. He was one. Monster was one from A-Track Gangster. Rest in peace. Monster was one. Man, a few homies, a few. Shoot, let me see. Oh man, hold on. Hey, it's a trip. You can think of this type of stuff when you not want to think about it, but when you try to think about it, it'll slip past me. It was a few homies though, homie. It was a few homies though.
Right.
It was a few.
That's understandable. So, what did you get from prison that you didn't have on the streets?
Oh man. You know what? Prison tempered me. Prison tempered me to become the person I eventually became in my hood. It taught me discipline. You feel what I'm saying? I could say that was the main thing it taught me was discipline, but it also taught me patience, and it taught me how to not be a reactionary. See, one of my main problems was I was a reactionary. If it looked like the white boys was getting out of line, if it looked like the Southern Mexicans, was finna pull a stunt, I wasn't the type to sit around and wait. I was always, come on, let's take off, and that kept me in a whole lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Especially with me being under paperwork, there's rules and chains of commands you have to go through. But I was the type, man, bump that, homie. We finna take off. No, you're not. You know what I'm saying? Now I gotta ask somebody else, hey man, hey, can I get them? Can I do this? No, Tune, hold on. I get to the point I don't want to hold on, and I've been did some. Okay, now here it is. Whenever I get out the shoe or whenever, if I, however it ended up going, you know what I'm saying? I'm running laps, doing burpees and writing standards or whatever, and
right.
and then, then.
So for the people that's listening and don't understand, when you say paperwork, what does that mean?
You either Blue Note or CCO. Being under paperwork, yeah.
And within in the Blue Note or CCO, there was curriculums, there was bylaws, and there was a certain standard that you had to carry to be a part of that contract, correct?
Right.
And was there specific roles that each individual had to fulfill or play?
I mean, well, you had different dudes that played different roles, in the hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? You had your foot soldiers. Then you had different, you had dudes that held different positions. Okay. I'm gonna go that far with it,
Okay, no, it's all good. What was the educational aspect of it? Because there's a component that focus on education. What was that like?
Well, see, okay. I can't really speak on what was all going on in the CCO car. They politics with their politics.
About Blue Notes, man.
Yeah, but now as far as that was one of the things I respected about the Blue Notes, homie. You wasn't finna just come to prison and be no dummy. You know what I'm saying? And be up under this right here. You know what I'm saying? It was gonna be found out if you could read, if you could write, if you could do math. You know what I'm saying? History, philosophy, and all that. You was gonna know about your culture. You was gonna know about your history. You was gonna get all this and learn it, homie. You just wasn't finna sit around and be no lump on the wall, a lump on a log all the time, every day. Just being a dummy. No, homie. You had to learn tactics. War tactics being one. You had how to make the certain things you needed to make to be safe wherever you were at. You know what I'm saying? You learned how to be aware of your surroundings and all, everything. I was taught so much.
So it was a culture conditioning then, because there were some things that there was some must-haves in order to understand the scenario and the detriment that you could possibly be in, because you guys were on level 4 yards, right?
Right. So
there's a certain way you had to carry oneself, and you just couldn't. And I understand that you couldn't be outside of the think tank or outside of the cadre as far as how it moved. I understand that. I thought that was brilliant myself personally, how you guys formulated, came together, and figured out, because I believe this is my personal belief that these five things advance the world more than anything. That science, mathematics, chemistry, biology, and physics. If you know those five subjects, you'll be a lot further ahead than most people. Matter of fact, you'll be superior to most. I mean, because some people settle for mediocrity, but let's be honest, this is not a mediocrity world. In order to gain success and be at the top level, you have to be something. You have to find some things that make you, out there, to put you out there to the way you can get to the things that you're trying to attain and acquire in this life. And I
Right.
understand it. But yeah, definitely, I don't see that. I hear people say things, but I don't pay no attention back to it. I got my
See, you have a lot of people, homie, especially these youngsters today. I got a lot of my homeboys that ask me about it, and I'll go so far as explaining certain things to them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not, it's really not like it was back then. It's pretty much, you know what I'm saying, gone in the wind for real. But I lost a lot of good homies, as far as not wanting to deal with me. Because they were like, man, you woo woo. Yeah, okay, yeah, homie. When they would find out and like, oh, cuz boom, boom, boom. A lot of like whether Blue Note, CCO, UBN, or Bloodline, no matter what, a lot of your people that's from your what we call your birth set, if they found out that you was under paperwork, they didn't trust you, didn't really want to be around you because they couldn't trust you. They didn't know where your allegiance lied anymore, and they just couldn't understand it. And I had a few homies throughout the years when it would become apparent to them what I was. They were like, dang, cuz you woo. I'm like, well, yeah, I wasn't gonna lie to them. I wasn't gonna advocate it to them, not back then, you know what I'm saying? As years went by, it was loosened up a little bit to where, you had a right to like, hey, homie, I'm blah, 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 blah. But at first, we wouldn't just advocate it and put it out there like that. And homies would like, well, cuz I'm gonna back up off you. I don't want, well, cool then, homie, hey, that's your business. That's your business. Cause I am what I am. I'm gonna be what I'm gonna be. So it is what it is. But now, as time, the education I got from that and just from being in prison alone is priceless. You know what I'm saying? Like they tell you, prison is a black man's college. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot of things, homie, that I brought to the streets with me today to become successful. If the things I learned in prison, if I had not learned them, I'd probably be homeless right now. But I applied what I learned. You know what I'm saying? Every little thing that I could squeeze out of it that was good and that could help me, I used it to the best of my ability out here in these streets.
Gotcha. That's good. That's wisdom. That's wisdom. Being that you were there, and you said 86. So how many years did you spend in there?
I was in prison from 86 all the way to 96. Then I went to Alabama and went to prison. But I was out several times from the 86 to 96. I was out several times.
Okay. Yeah, I think that people will have a tendency to, because the unknown represents fear. When people don't know about something, they automatically just either fear it or assume it is bad. Not
Right.
knowing that those being part of those quadres was survival. You know what I'm saying? It puts you in a survival mode, and a lot of times the individuals that you became familiar with, or they came familiar with you, you guys rocked together, and rode together. You understood that. In other words, these guys understood the position and the role they need to play in order to catch your back and you catch their back. Everybody understood that. But often when we just all willy-nilly, I'm a cripple here, he's a cripple there, there's no structure. It's hard to bring that together the way you need to bring it. Although there may be some holes in here, but it works a lot better if it has a structure to it, an organization to what you're doing.
You see, let me show you something. Now, as far as like the banding together for survival, that could, yeah. But now for me, I'm gonna just say for me, it wasn't really that, because for me, when it was presented to me, it was presented to me in a way of like you were saying about structure. I've always been real big on structure. You know, I used to watch them essays all through YA, and you know they had structure then, and so carrying on into prison when that was brought to me, when it was presented to me, I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Plus, I was already curious in my mind because with me being from Avalon, it was already, you know what I'm saying? Okay, 9 times out of 10, you know, Avalon's gonna go to Blue No Way. So I was already curious about it. So when it was presented to me, the structure that was in it, I was like, yeah, because I've always been a traditional Crip. You know, the first main tattoo I ever had on me was the one on my chest, the big Crip on my chest. And I've always, you know what I'm saying, I'm a throwback Crip. I'm a traditional throwback Crip. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell a person in a minute I'm an East Side Crip. You feel me? You know? And so I've always liked structure. I've always liked things to be in place on how it's supposed to go. I don't like disorganization. I don't like a situation where everybody's running around doing whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. There's no unity in that. I like structure. I like unity. I like loyalty. And so when it, like I say, when it presented to me, I listened. I heard it. I didn't have to. I chose to. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm with that. Come on, let's go. And people like in prison, man, we lose out a lot when we go into these battles with these other races and stuff because everybody's running around doing whatever, whenever, however. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be a chief, and don't nobody want to be an Indian, homie. You know, people used to ask me all the time, well, dang, Big Tune, you know, as years went on and my name kind of got out there, dang, Big Tune, you know what I'm saying, man, you a leader, a follower? And I tell him, I say, homie, I'm not going to claim a leader. I'm not going to claim a follower. What I'm going to claim is an individual. An individual, yes, homie, an individual is a person who knows when to lead and when to follow. Because there's always a situation where, okay, be quiet, listen, and you follow in this situation. Or you have a voice, be boisterous, and you lead in this situation. But you got to use that third eye, homie, to be able to look at the situation and say, okay, do I need to assert myself right here? Or do I need to just kick back and follow what's going on? And that I've always been that way, homie. I've always been that way. I've never been the type to like, can't nobody tell me nothing. Oh, I seen many heads get whopped behind that right there. Can't nobody tell you nothing. Homie, in this situation in here, somebody will always be able to tell you something. I've never been that way. I've always been the type, homie, if you in a position to tell me what to do, if you are a part of what I'm a part of, and you have made it, you made your bones, and you climbed up the ladder to be in a position to where you can say, hey, Tune, we need you to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then guess what? Tune ain't even finna trip on it. Tune finna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's always been me.
That's good, man. That's it, man. That's how you move, man. You know, can't be mad at that. You know, they cannot be mad at that. In regards to, there was a guy, right? And I hear so much about him. I don't know if you ever ran into him in prison, Rooster. Did you ever run into Rooster?
From Pyru?
Rooster was out of Ross Snyder, right?
Oh, Rooster off the east side. Yeah. He was from Ross. He was 40 Pyru.
I hear a lot that he had his leadership qualities was like really like, you know what I mean, good for them under the Conference inside. Did you ever run into him or did you ever jail with him?
Well, see, I wasn't ever in jail with him but on the streets though. See, whatever type of leadership abilities he might have had or the type of person he was, you gotta go back. In my generation, we wasn't gonna be around each other long enough to figure out if you was a good guy or a bad guy, because in my generation it was on sight. You know, so I come up from that generation. You know, like today the lines are blurred. You know, it's all whooshy 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 whooshy. But back then it was on sight. We knew you don't know who the enemy is nowadays. But back then you knew who the enemy was. Yeah. Y'all over there, we don't get along with y'all. We over here, y'all don't get along with us. So when we see y'all, it go down. You know, that's how it was back then.
Yeah, nowadays you see the Crip and Bloods going against another Crip sin or vice versa. Crips and
Yeah,
Bloods
yeah,
against
yeah,
another five set, you know.
yeah, yeah,
And you be
yeah.
like, okay, they smell like that.
When I got out the pen this time, I ran into that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, okay, all right, I see.
Needless to say, we don't need none of it at this day and time because it's become. But I guess you could say there was three schools of thought as far as the Crips. There was Raymond Washington, Dookie, and Mac Thomas. Like you might even put Mad Dog in there, you know. But I don't think none of those schools of thought during that time, during the 70s, because I'm from 72, I understand that from that point, that vantage point on and beyond. But I didn't see no difference in it because it was such a coalition. You know what I'm saying? Dudes from Compton would be in LA, and LA dudes would be in Compton, and be on the east side, they'd be on the west side, and they would be wherever they found a party at. Everybody would find a way to show up at this party. You know what I mean? And it was very different back then. Very different.
See, look, and then see back like I don't go as far back as you do. You got me by a few years, but I go far enough back to where, you know, some people. I got a lot of homies out of Compton that I did time with, that I know on the streets, and I be clowning them about this right here. And they don't want to admit. I'm like, come on, cuz you got to admit this. They be like, well, what I'm speaking on is now when you go back to, you know, through the 70s and the late 70s and early 80s. Now y'all in Compton, y'all might have had a different outlook on it because y'all from Compton. Y'all see Compton in a different way than, you know, us in South Central seen it. But now a lot of people back then, if you can remember, they seen Compton as just another part of the East Side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you told them, yeah, you remember them days when you might tell, especially if they was off the west side of South Central, where you from, homie? I'm from Compton. They just looked at you as being, oh, yo, you from the East Side then, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, you know. Then as years went on, I tell people all the time, I say, when NWA hit, that kind of, you know, that kind of gave Compton that, you know, hey, wait a minute, hold up, homie. You know, hey, we Compton, we Hub City, you know what I'm saying? That identity kind of just bulged and flourished, you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
somebody was saying that Rooster bought maybe not into the BL at the Reno field to recruit him.
I don't know. The last time I seen Reno, he owed me a case of sodas and I never did get it. Look, we was in the pen, homie, and we had a football game against the Bloods. Look, I'm getting a tattoo. I got a tattoo on the side of my neck say, can you stand the rain? And I'm getting a tattoo, but now I went to Reno and I bet him. I'm like, homie, check this out. Let's bet a case of soda. I said, I'm gonna give y'all 7 points. We spot y'all 7 points and for a case of sodas. The game ended up being tied because I went jumped in the game. I ran all the ink out my tattoo. It don't even show no more. But the game ended up being tied. And I couldn't get my case of sodas, man. I wanted that soda from him bad. I wanted it from him bad, man. But now, you know what, though? A lot of people, they ask me, what do I think about how you know, the gang activity in L.A. and how, you know, how the lines have been blurred and how things are going now. And I tell them, you know what I'm saying, to me, nothing stays the same. The only thing in life that will always remain the same is change. Change will always come. You can never stop it. It will always come. And that's one of the things, the gang activity in LA is metamorphing and changing into what it's becoming now. But I see it as a gateway into making it to where we can put an end to hostilities.
Yeah.
We could you know, whether you Crip, whether you Blood, we could bring an end to hostilities and make it to where we so unified that all the ground, I'm gonna speak on this now, all the ground that we're losing in LA, far as our neighborhoods, South Central, the black man is, like I've been saying, we becoming an endangered species in South Central LA, Compton, Watts, all that. You know what I'm saying? We're being invaded. It's being took over by other cultures. And the schools we went to, we no longer have. The places we went, the neighborhoods, the houses, grandma house is gone, homie. Mama house is gone. You know what I'm saying? Other people have those houses now. And we steadily losing ground. We don't own nothing. We don't have the things we supposed to have. And as long as we keep, and fighting each other, the others gonna keep on eating up our territory. Because either we dying, going to prison, or we just packing our bags up and totally moving away and letting them get it. So, I'm trying to start a program where, homies can, like, if they got a problem, they can box it out and, put the guns away and all that. I got with the homie G Perico from Lemon Broadway, and, he told me I could use, he cool little homie. He told me I could use the gym right there on 108th and Broadway whenever I want to. Now, the only thing that's kind of hindering me is with me being so far away from Cali, out here, and I can't really find nobody that's going to do the footwork for me. But, everything that's happening right now, if the right people step up and push it in the way that needs to be pushed, it can be pushed into a positive direction. It's right there on the brink. It can go good or it can go bad. You know what I'm saying? Because Bloods don't hate Crips like they used to, and Crips don't hate Bloods like they used to. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody's everybody can get along now and try to go in a positive direction.
And that one thing you mentioned, that was important, definitely important, is that change is occurring. Whether we want to be a part or not, that don't even matter. Change is happening. And what we failed to do was take advantage of the economic opportunities, because before we moved in them homes, there was white people in those homes. So what white people did, white people always do what is called generational wealth. And how they create generational wealth is by all these different insurances. They buy all these insurances. So when they left those properties, they elevated. When we bought them, we didn't do the same. We didn't follow the whole plan, because everything is temporary. Nothing is forever. So you're supposed to progress and you're supposed to advance out of these communities. But when you advance out of them, everybody's supposed to be doing well. You know what I mean? And that's not happening with us. You know what I mean? Because for whatever reason, all the progress we do make, we be the biggest people that sabotage our own progress.
Right. That's right. Man,
go ahead. Stay with you guys.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. I'm shaking my head, because what you talk about right now is what I've been on lately, especially when you spoke on the generational wealth. Man, look, let me show you something, homie. We as the black people, we don't have enough patience. We want instant gratification right now. We want whatever we can get. We want whatever we can have, and we want to spend it right now. And ain't nobody thinking about what the kids gonna have. Black people don't even think about college fund. They don't even think about when they leave here, what they gonna leave to their kids. They don't. It's been breeded out of us. It's been worked out of whatever it is. It's gone now, and it's like, okay. I was thinking about when my video yesterday when I went live, or before then, I got a video called "Message to the Black Man" a couple of days ago, and it was like, man, when you go through LA, Compton, Watts, on every corner, you see them other people. They got food stands set up. They cook it. They doing all that. Man, why are we not doing it? Why we can't come together?
4 or 5 taco stands on the same corner.
On the same corner. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody making money.
Right. And I think it may be 1 or 2 soul food restaurants left in the Southern California area, man. And even in those, if you go in them and you look, even though it comes up under the guise of a soul food restaurant, them other folks, the ones back there cooking that.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. I
went to the fish market on Imperial and Broadway, right? And when I went in there, I knew he was black man, but everybody there, everything don't change. There's some other people in there cooking and everything, and they don't learn the recipe. They learn how to do it the way we still like it, and everybody's still going up. Thank you, Stan. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother Stan. Definitely. They still go up in there and patronize those businesses. You know what I mean? I think the talk we have in Cartoon is very necessary, and it is supposed to happen because there's an educational component to what you and I do, and I think you're a star at that, and I'm a star at that as well. And I think it's so needed, man, because when you talk about the youth, we got to find a way to change, right the ship. The ship is leading too far one way or the other. So we got to find, because this Crip and Blood thing became what it was to a group effort. It wasn't one individual that started. It was a group effort.
Right.
So in order to change it, we must do it through a group effort. And I tell people all the time, it's material because it's something that's sudden, it's unpredictable, it's mind, mood, and temperament. That's what makes up these mindsets of these individuals that evolve in these cadres, sections, gangs, cliques, whatever you want to call them. So we got to find a way to dive into that and just give them some good stuff, you know what I mean? Because they don't even know, man, that it's impossible. It's impossible for them to hear no every day because we live in a system of duality. But if you're not in pursuit in acquiring the things that you know that's going to sustain your life, and you give up, that's what our problem do. A lot of us give up and they relax. They want 5 days. They want a blunt, PlayStation, a bucket, a social assistance, and a EBT card or something. I don't know how you survive off of that, but that's not it, bro. That's just not it.
No, it's not. I mean, you dead right, homie. And it's like, you remember back when we was young, how we would tease them about 30 of them living in a 2-bedroom house and all of them packed up in there. Now that was
houses.
Yeah, that was, we teased them about that back then. But now, right to this very day, all of them 30 that lived in that one house, all of them own a house on that block right today. Because they was able to get along. Man, black folks, it's so hard for blacks to get along with each other, man. You couldn't even put 10 blacks in the same house and expect for them to get along. They gonna be hollering about who ate my soup, who drunk my beer, who touched my this, my that, just getting into it. But now, man, them people, look, we got the ability to it, man. All them sisters out there, man, that got them EBT cards, that's getting them food stamps. Man, if you get 4 or 5 of them to come together, man, and you get them the equipment they need and get them a corner and set it up. This where the man come in at and set that equipment up and where they can cook and they can do their thing. That's how them other folks did what they did. All up on the county. They all of them take them EBT cards or them food stamps when it was paper food stamps and all that, and they caravanning them station wagons to the store, and they get all that stuff in bulk, and they come back and they cooking it up and they serving it and they selling it. And who they selling it to? Us. We will break the sound barrier out there in them streets to run up on one of them stands, buy them tacos, burritos, tostadas, and all that, and eat them and be like happy as a jaybird. But never once are we taking into consideration where our dollars could have went instead of that?
Yeah, we have our gross domestic product, our GDP is 2.2 trillion. Right? We're not broke, but what we are, we just don't know how to. Because having $1 million and knowing how to manage $1 million are two very different things. And we just mismanage money. We think it's more important to go buy. More black people own Mercedes than any other group of people. But they'll own a Mercedes before they own a piece of property.
Right.
You and I know it's backwards. But for some reason, we want that status quo. Everybody say, and I'm not a product of that at one time, but now when I grew up, I put those childish things away and became a man once I realized that those things are childish and immature, and it was far more important things in life that I should be doing with this time that I have. I'm vested in this time, you know what I mean? And I got more time behind me than I do in front of me. So definitely this day of time, everything must be strategic. I can't just show up and hood functions and all this other stuff.
Right.
God bless the ones that still do it, and I'm not knocking it, it's just that I don't have the time. You know what I mean? So, and I'm more so
Do you know what? Ain't nobody even giving them the little young homies that's coming up today, homie. Ain't nobody even giving them an outlook on where they can go. You know, for instance, the work ethic in the black community is pretty much non-existent. You know what I'm saying? You just think back in the day when you get up early in the morning and you see 30 Mexicans on the corner, all of them waiting for trucks to pull up and people to say, okay, you, get in, let's go work. They would actually group up and be willing and wanting to go to work. It might be 30 people out there, 29 of them Mexicans, maybe one black. Now, because black, you know, and our little homies, they don't want to do nothing but get up, like you say, smoke a blunt, might, you know, sell a rock here and there or sell whatever that junk is they sell nowadays, and just, you know, go mess with a female or go run up and down streets in the hood. As far as going to work or looking to go to work, it ain't in them. They not even looking at no trade schools. Okay, you flunked. None of that. Okay, you didn't graduate. Okay, cool. We can get around that. You can still go to trade school. You can still learn a skill. If you can't, why you think those people building all the houses got all the jobs? Because their work ethic is 100. Because they have the skills. When the people who do have the big money come looking for somebody to do certain type works, we don't have the skills to do it. So they gonna look past us. Them other people got the electrical skills, the plumbing skills, the drywall skills, the brick masonry skills, the roofing skills, the landscaping skills. They have all that. The only skill we got is standing around in the hood, getting drunk, talking about nothing. And it's like,
hey, but if you really want to see how these people work, all you got to do is go downtown LA about 4:35 o'clock in the morning. They had the vegetables, they had the vegetable stand, produce stand, they had the seafood place, and they had the flower shops, and they gathered all this stuff up, and they want to go to their corners, their destinations, and they gonna have this stuff for sale.
Right, and they have it.
We live in a society that's lazy, so we love great customer service. We love convenience. We love being able to get things and acquire them in convenience. So a lot of people see certain things like I might go down to the seafood place down in San Pedro and purchase all my seafood because that's convenient for me. I can go there and they got everything I want and I get it. You know what I mean? But I don't know that some little Mexican guy that went downtown LA, bought all this stuff, then bought it to his place, and set it up and made it be convenient for me to come in.
That's right.
I could have the same thing he did, went downtown LA, purchased everything at a lower price at wholesale, and then I could have been the one to come out and say, but you know, our people doesn't, you know,
that's you telling the truth, huh? Let me show you something. How many millions of dollars do you think leave out the black community's pockets? I'm gonna say black women's pockets every year, going to the Koreans and the Asians that run all these hair shops.
Man,
you know? Now, you know, black women are so vain that, you know, the only thing on their mind is, girl, do my edges look
Foundation Nation, man. Shout out to the Foundation.
Shout out to the Foundation Nation, homie. You know, they worried about, do they edges look right? Do I got that burgundy or blue tint in my hair right? And and the money that they getting, they spending it there. I mean, you know, you still live in in the Southland, homie. Do you know any sisters that own their own hair shops? I know one or two. But now for every one sister or for everyone that owns their own hair shop, I'm talking about where the big ones where they sell all the hair and all the beauty utensils. For every one, you got 5 more Korean places or Asian places that own it. And they pay.
We own churches and barbershops. That's what we own.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. And I ain't knocking it, but I just seen that the church ain't really doing everything it needs to do that it says about it. Because you see all the shiciness that goes on with some of these guys.
Right.
Whatever. And I'm not putting them all down. I can't lump them all in one case. but it's just so much, man. It's just a whole lot of sickness going on.
And you know, we taking hits. We taking hits from every direction. Man, I had in one of my videos yesterday, I had a lady get into the comments and she made a statement. She said, well, you know, the black woman is so independent now, we don't need brothers to do this and that. I'm like, hold up. I say, homegirl, you know, I typed her back and I told her, I said, homegirl, listen, you probably saying what you're saying because you got a good job and you doing what you do, but you really don't understand the type of ramifications that statement will have if you put it in the wrong young sister's ear. But what it is, man, you know, man, look, due to death and due to this mass incarceration of the black man, so many sisters, man, have been left out there by themselves to fend for themselves. They think they've grown up in a generation now to where they think that's the status quo. I don't need no end. I can do it myself. Ends ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even know that's them other folks, them pale skinned folks, that has been what they wanted to do since the beginning of time. Okay, we can't hang them no more and do what we want to do to them no more. So we'll lock them up and we'll take their foundation, which has always been the black woman, man. The black woman has always had the brothers back. So eat from slavery on till now. And when they locked us up and they put this superiority complex in the black woman's mind that they don't need us no more, now they don't look at us with respect no more, homie. They look at us like, okay, we just in the way.
Pay attention to this, man. A percentage of black women, they're the only group of women that talk this strong and independent stuff. Because if you look at other ethnicity groups of women, they don't do that because they
don't do it. Right.
They get what they did.
Right.
But some percentage, not all black sisters, but
not all.
Percentage of them talk this strong and independent stuff, which is the damage in the family unit.
There you go. They tore down the black family unit, homie. Yeah, exactly.
And I ain't talking about y'all, Marlena. Yeah, y'all be following me. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
And then you look at it. We'll turn around and we'll hoop and holler and scream. But man, listen, homie. Within the last 2 years, man, listen. Just add up all the money that was brought into the black community from them PPP loans and the stimulus checks and all that. Man, we could have came together because baller, strike. Them folks know that, you had a lot of black folks pulling stunts. We had money. They was getting money. They was getting money. Man, how many black businesses are around right today from all that PP loan money and all them stimulus checks? None. A handful. But now you had dudes walking around with 15 chains on, 3-4 watches. They done bought them a car. Now the gold, all the gold been pawned. The watches gone.
I seen dudes in Bentley. I seen dudes maybe about a few months back riding around with a Bentley with a big ass dent in it. And I'm thinking to myself, man, if my Bentley had a dent, man, I ain't driving. That's going to the insurance got that. They gonna take care of that.
Right.
But if I'm riding around it, I mean, I can't afford that car and I can't afford to have the insurance on it. You don't know what that really looks like. You know what I mean?
Right. It's just, hey, homie, it's sad. Like I say, man, and we as black people, homie, we generate so much money. Like you say, black economics. We generate so much money, but we making every other race in California rich other than ourselves.
Watch this. Go to it's called blackdemographics.com. 54% of black men are fatherless and single. 54%. 60% are in the middle class. So we really don't have a problem. We just we have a mismanagement problem, of course, but because a lot of women, right? A lot of our women date only 20% of the men. The other 80%, they got to kind of fight, you know what I mean? Because if you think about what a sister wanted a man, tall, black, handsome, rich, famous, football player, basketball. That's just what they be saying. But that's
Right.
not realistic. That's not realistic. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
a lot of these sisters got to lower their standards, especially the sisters that say, I'm a PhD. I'm on my Kevin Samuels right now. I'm a PhD.
Right. Right. Right.
You know,
Right.
but
Right.
anyway, we don't want to get too far off of that, man, because the sisters will be, you know what I mean, they be coming for. Not that we can't handle it, but, you know.
Y'all wrong. Y'all wrong.
Yeah. You know, but accountability, you know what I mean, the need to be right. You know, there's a lot that's going on with some of these, you know, but the need to be right, you know.
Man, you know what?
What's that?
I had got in contact today, man. That's a trip. I was speaking about. We have a little it's a Chinese restaurant. It's right there on the corner of 51st and Avalon. Now throughout the years, it's been all type of stuff: Golden Birds, Pioneer Chickens, Black Restaurant. You know, it's been all type of stuff throughout the years. And I was speaking at one time, me and my big homeboy OG Cartoon, we was gonna buy it, and we was gonna open it up as, you know, our own little restaurant in the hood, in the set. I ended up catching this case out here in Alabama, and that kind of killed it. That kind of messed it up. And I was told about 10 years ago that my big homie had died. He passed away. I thought he was gone. Man, now this is a trip that this is coming up. You know, a lot of time when I put videos out, it's a video I put out yesterday. Yesterday. And a lot of times when I first get up in the morning, I'll go through and I'll read all the comments, and I'll try to answer as many as I can. Man, I'm going through my comments this morning, and I ran across my big homie OG Cartoon. And I'm like, what? Yeah. And he got at me and talked. I'm like, wait a minute, this my what? And he was like, man, get in such and such, man, get my number, homie. You know, I don't want to put my number on this, but go, I'm like, okay. And I'm like, dang, man, it just, I was happy. I was smiling because I thought my big homie was dead, but he around now. And he was like, when we get together, we going to talk about it. And the same thing we talk about right now, we going to pick up where we left off at.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah, where we couldn't buy and get what we wanted back then, we going to pick up, we going to come together, we going to talk, and we going to try to pick up where we left off at, because my whole neighborhood is gone, man. And within a 15-block radius going this way, that way, this way, man, I don't think you have 10 black families that live in my neighborhood no more. The apartments are gone.
All the neighborhoods.
That's in all of them. Yeah.
The neighborhoods.
Yeah. The houses are gone. We don't own nothing. We don't own the stores, the tire shops, nothing. So now when me and the homie get together, he got $2-3. I got $2-3. Even though I'm in Alabama, man, we gonna smash it out, hash it out. We gonna figure it out. But man, we gonna get something. We gonna own something over there and try to start it from the grassroots up, and hope other homeboys catch on and like, well, let me buy that. Let me get that. Let me buy that.
But the problem with that sometimes is your homeboys come and they want to deal. My prices are my prices, bro. I can't give y'all ain't going to the Bank of America, Walmart asking for no deal. They want a deal.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, man. But you know what? That's just part of the territory. That's one of them landmines in the minefield. You just got to try to learn to maneuver around.
Yeah, my job kept functioning too back then. But a lot of people don't know that PPP, man, the life extended the investigation, put numerous accounts of IRS agents to follow that money and see if it was, did you apply correctly or did you falsify documents. They gave 10 years to follow 10, to follow, anything that looks suspicious or not necessary. It doesn't work.
Right.
Hopefully everybody that got to get the right thing,
Yeah, I know.
Did start a difference. Dr. Clyde was speaking up for the black community. Dr. Clyde Anderson said it's going to be a perfect answer. I think that, I don't remember what year he said, but if we keep moving like we should, it's going to be a perfect answer. and we chopped up because we dropped down to the end of the night, bro.
Let them know. Let them know. Hey, homie, I ain't got a problem with it. And like I was, hey, when you got me, I was like, yeah, because any of the fellow homies, man, that got podcasts and they from where we from, homie, they ain't got to do but like, hey, Tune, I'm like, hey, throw the pass, I'm gonna catch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with them, homie, because I want to see, man, I want to see all of us win. Every last one of us, I want to see us win, homie. You know?
Absolutely. So tell everybody that wants to go here, where can they find you at, Tune?
If you're looking for me on my Instagram, it's gonna say the Overlord, but it's gonna be DA_OVA_LORD, or you can always catch me on my podcast, Cartoon 53. Just run the 53 right in next to the cartoon. I'm always on there. Y'all come check me out, man.
Man, salute to you, man. Appreciate it. We gotta do this again, man. Powerful conversation. Let's continue to build, man. Salute to you, man. Thank you very much for being a part of it.
Tell a homie OG Bam I said what's happening, man.
Oh yeah, he was in there. I sent him a link. He never did grab it. I was gonna have to come and speak to you, but he never did grab it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk soon, bro. Thank you.
All right, bet. All right.
Shout out to the Melbourne Nation. Shout out to the Melbourne Gold. Shout out to Marlene Williams, Michelle, Devon Cutler, Terrell, and everybody that jumped in there, man. Shout out to my man, Spencer. Man, you're a stand-up guy, man. Man, for everybody that dropped something that Big P, what's going on with the Asiatic Supreme? I saw you in the top north. I saw you in there. Everybody I saw in there. But let me give y'all this new song, man. I don't know if y'all saw it yet, but I gotta give it to you, man. Here you go, man.
Yeah. Lock the door on him. Dahoodpostman. Reporting live. This the hood postman, come and check the program. You ain't from the streets, this is something you should know, man. Running from police, gotta grip the whip with both hands. Speeding down the interstate, please do not approach him. 40s in the fridge, got the caddy in the driveway. Get all out of my face, I don't wanna violate. Looked up in the mirror and I told myself, why wait? We took this shit worldwide, you only in 5 states. Came from the 4 corners with my 4 quarters. Showed them the style, then they stole on us. Times got wild, then they told on us. Dog, it was hard, but we had to keep it rolling. You ain't gotta ask, you know where to find me. I be in the back streets where it get grimy. It's just me and Mel, Rennie looking bride D. I be going hard till I'm in the 5 C's. No, dog, it was hard, but we had to keep it rolling. You ain't gotta ask, you know where to find me. I be in the back streets where it get grimy. It's just me and Mel, Rennie looking bride D. I be going hard till I'm in the 5 C's. Know the vibes.
Shout out to the Mailroom Gold. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are great. I'm not come on here and see all you guys in the chat. Asking questions, asking each other questions. While later, finding people that's not necessarily on our page. That's okay. People have different opinions, feel different about certain things. Mouth should have always 3 gates. 3 gates. Be true, be kind, and is it necessary? That's it. Is it kind? Is it true? And is it necessary? And that's what we got to keep in mind. What I was going to do, I am the good postman for the box. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, share. Drop a comment down below so when the